I secretly recorded my family plotting against me, then played it at dinner. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. If you told me a year ago I'd be hiding in my own hallway, phone pressed to the wall, eavesdropping on my own family, I would have laughed. But here I am, heart in my throat, as the voices of the people I trust most bleed through the thin sheetrock. My name, my future, my inheritance, their plans. I never expected to become the villain in my own house. But tonight, every whispered word carved that truth a little deeper. If we push him out, Mom will side with us. He's always been weak, my brother hissed. My sister's reply was colder. He won't fight back. He never does. Every instinct screamed at me to barge in, demand answers, but I stayed frozen, breath shallow. All the odd moments from the past year lined up in my mind. Missing money from Dad's safe, secret texts they thought I didn't see, sudden silences when I entered the room. I'd always brushed it off as paranoia. Now, those fears crystallized into reality. By the time I staggered to my room, betrayal was an iron weight in my chest. My own blood, scheming to cut me out. But I wasn't going to let them win quietly. That's when I made the choice. I'd record everything. Their words, their plans, their lies, captured on my phone for the world to hear. I wanted proof. I needed justice. Maybe I just needed someone to believe me. Flash forward. The dining table gleams under the chandelier. Every seat filled. Everyone pretending nothing is wrong. My hands shake as I set my phone on the table, speaker poised to expose it all. Before we eat, I say, voice tight, I want you all to hear something. Their faces blur between confusion and dread. And as I press play, I know there's no way back from what I'm about to do. A brittle silence shatters the air as my finger hovers over the screen. My family, always so loud, so certain, now holds its breath, every fork frozen midair. I hit play. Their voices spill out, distorted by the phone speaker, but clear enough to scorch. If we push him out, Mom will side with us. He won't fight back. He never does. For a moment, nobody moves. My brother's jaw clenches. My sister's fork slips from her hand with a metallic clang. Dad looks from me to them, face drained of color. Mom's eyes dart between us, searching for some innocent explanation. I keep my eyes locked on them, daring anyone to speak first. The words play out in full, the ugly truth looping back through the room like a toxin. When it finally ends, the silence is suffocating. My brother recovers first. That's out of context. He spits, voice brittle. You shouldn't be recording your own family. What's wrong with you? The gall of it almost makes me laugh. Out of context? You were planning to steal my share of Dad's business. You called me weak, said I wouldn't fight back. Well, guess what? I am fighting. My sister glares, cheeks flaming. You had no right. No right. My voice cracks. After everything? The secrets, the lies, the stolen money? Dad finally finds his voice, trembling. Is this true? All of it. Neither of them answers. I look at Mom. Her face is a mask of heartbreak and fear. But before anyone can speak again, my brother's phone lights up on the table. A single message. Did he find out? That's when I realize the betrayal runs even deeper than I thought. Someone else is involved, and I'm not the only target. The message glows on my brother's phone, chilling and direct. Did he find out? It feels like a trapdoor opening beneath me. How many people know about this plot? My brother snatches up the phone, thumbing the screen dark, but the damage is done. Dad's gaze sharpens, suspicion blooming where confusion once Saturday. Who sent that? Dad's voice trembles, a thread of anger running through it. My brother shakes his head. It's nothing. Just work. But he can't hide the tremor in his hands. I lean forward, every nerve on fire. Who else is involved? You weren't just going to cut me out, were you? You were going to make me the scapegoat. My sister's lips press into a thin line, guilt flickering across her face. It was just supposed to be business, not. I cut her off, rage flaring. Business? Is that what you call stabbing your own brother in the back? Mom tries to speak, voice breaking. Please, let's not do this at the table. But the dam has burst. We're doing this right here. Right now. I'm done being the family fool. My hands shake, but my resolve holds. I want to know who else is part of this. I deserve the truth. Dad turns to my brother again, his tone deadly calm. Who's behind that message, son? For a heartbeat, my brother falters. Then, quietly, Uncle Mike. The name hits like a slap. Uncle Mike, Dad's business partner, the one who always smiled a little too wide, who'd warned me to stay out of grown-up matters. My world tilts again. If Uncle Mike is involved, this goes deeper than petty sibling rivalry. And suddenly I realize, my family isn't just plotting behind my back. I'm up against a conspiracy, and I have no idea how far they'll go to keep their secrets safe. Uncle Mike. The name hangs in the air like a curse, pulling a shudder from everyone at the table. I see Dad's jaw flex, memories and suspicion flickering behind his eyes. Mom covers her mouth, whispering, "No," as if denial could undo it all. I lean back, the hurt settling into something harder. So that's it. The plan was to cut me out and make it look like my fault, so Mike could take my place? My brother stares at his hands, unable to meet my eyes. You always had Dad's trust. Mike thought you'd ruin everything if you stayed. He convinced us this was the only way. Rage and betrayal war inside me. And you just agreed? My own brother and sister? My sister's voice is barely a whisper. He said you'd be fine, that you'd bounce back. It was just business, not personal. I almost laugh. Not personal? It's all personal. Dad's face darkens. How long has this been going on? He demands, voice steely. My brother hesitates. Months. Maybe longer. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Every family dinner, every smile, it was all a lie. You planned to ruin me and walk away like nothing happened? Before anyone can answer, my phone vibrates in my pocket. I pull it out, hands numb. An unknown number. The message is short and sharp. Stop digging or you'll regret it. My heart pounds. Someone knows I've found out. Someone watching from the shadows. I look around the table, everyone frozen, the weight of the secret pressing on us all. But I'm done playing victim. If they want to fight, they've got one. The next move is mine, and I won't go down quietly. My breath quickens as I read the message again. Stop digging, or you'll regret it. My thumb hovers over the screen, fear prickling at the back of my neck. I look up, searching my family's faces for any hint of guilt or panic. My brother won't meet my gaze. My sister is blinking back tears. Mom is shaking. Dad's eyes, however, are hard, like steel honed over years of disappointment. He speaks first, voice low but unyielding. No more secrets. Who sent that? I hesitate. I don't know, but someone's watching, and they want me to stay quiet. My sister chokes out. It's Mike, isn't it? He said he'd handle everything if things got messy. A bitter laugh escapes me. Handle everything? What's next? Framing me for theft? Ruining my reputation? My brother finally snaps. You don't get it. Mike said you'd never be strong enough to take over the business. That you'd drag us all down. Dad slams his hand on the table, silverware jumping. Enough. I built this family, this company, from nothing. I won't let Mike, or anyone, tear us apart. Mom, voice trembling, pleads. Can't we just fix this? We're still family. But the air is thick with tension and something darker, danger. I clutch my phone tighter, cold resolve settling in. You want to fix this? Help me expose Mike. I'll take every risk, but I won't do it alone. Outside, headlights sweep the window. Someone's car idling on the street, engine rumbling. For the first time, my family looks to me for guidance. But as danger circles closer, I know trust is fragile, and the next move could shatter everything. The air feels electric as I push back my chair and stand, phone clenched in my fist. Outside, the headlights linger, throwing long shadows across the walls. You all have a choice, I say, voice steadier than I feel. Stay quiet and let Mike win, or help me bring the truth to light. But if you stay silent, you're as guilty as he is. For a moment, no one speaks. My brother's face is flushed with anger and shame. My sister looks at Mom, searching for comfort that isn't there. Dad's eyes are locked on me, calculating, weighing decades of loyalty against the son who tried to betray me. Finally, Dad stands. I won't let Mike destroy my family. Whatever mistakes you've made, you're still my children. We stand together now. My brother looks at the floor, voice rough. What do you want us to do? Tell me everything. I say. How he got to you. What he has on you. We need evidence. Texts. Emails. Anything. Reluctantly, my brother pulls out his phone. My sister does the same, scrolling through messages, hesitant, ashamed. Each confession comes slow, but with every detail, the plot sharpens. Secret meetings, manipulated documents, threats. The realization hits me. We have enough to expose Mike, but we'll have to risk everything. Outside, the headlights switch off. The car door slams. Someone is coming. Mom grabs my arm, fear etched deep in her eyes. Are you sure about this? I squeeze her hand. I can't keep living in fear. Not of Mike. Not of what you all think of me. I'd rather fight and lose than keep pretending. Heavy footsteps echo up the porch. The doorbell rings, and I know the time for secrets is over. The real confrontation is about to begin. The doorbell cuts through the silence like a knife. My family freezes, tension pulsing between us. Dad steps forward, shoulders squared, his presence suddenly commanding again, reminding me of the man who built this house from nothing. I glance at my siblings, fear and guilt flickering in their eyes. Stay behind me, Dad says quietly, moving to the door. I follow, heart pounding, phone recording in my pocket, just in case. The porch light glows harshly as Dad opens the door. Uncle Mike stands in the doorway, rain dripping from his expensive coat, smile tight and cold. He scans the room, gaze landing on me, then the rest of the family. Well, Mike says, his voice syrupy smooth. Looks like I arrived just in time for dessert. His eyes linger on me, predatory. I heard there were complications. Dad doesn't flinch. Come in, Mike. We were just discussing family business. Mike steps inside, wiping his shoes on the mat, every move calculated. He sets a leather briefcase on the table. Good. We all need to be on the same page. My brother shrinks into his seat. My sister clutches her phone, knuckles white. I meet Mike's eyes, refusing to look away. We know what you've been doing. I say, my voice stronger than I feel. And we have proof. He laughs softly, no real humor in it. Proof? In families, it's your word against mine. Dad sits, jaw set. This isn't a family anymore. Not if you're willing to destroy us for profit. Mike's mask slips, just for a second. His voice hardens. Careful. You don't know who you're dealing with. But as I press record, once more, I realize, for the first time, I'm not alone. And Mike's threats don't scare me anymore. Tonight, the truth is finally on our side. Mike settles into a chair, surveying us like a wolf in a den of sheep. The silence is heavy, everyone waiting for someone else to break. Dad folds his hands on the table, stone-faced. My siblings glance at me, desperate for a sign. I clear my throat, keeping my phone hidden but recording, heart hammering against my ribs. Mike leans forward, voice soft and venomous. Let's not make this messy. If you care about this family, you'll do what's best for everyone. Sign what I brought, and we all walk away richer. I force a laugh, brittle and sharp. That's your big pitch? Threaten us, and then ask for signatures? He shrugs. The smart ones will. You don't want me as an enemy, kid. Dad slams his hand on the table, making us all jump. Enough. I know about the shell companies, the money siphoned off, the pressure on my kids. You've been stealing from us for years. Mike's face flashes with annoyance. Those were business decisions. And if you'd listened to me, we wouldn't be in this mess. I lock eyes with him. You manipulated my brother and sister, turned them against me, threatened us all. He scoffs. They were eager enough. I just gave them a nudge. My sister's voice trembles, but she speaks up. You said he'd ruin the family. That Dad would lose everything if he stayed in charge. Mike turns to her, his smile ice cold. People believe what they need to. You wanted security, I offered it. The tension is electric. Mom speaks softly, but there's steel in her words. You underestimated us, Mike. You thought fear would keep us quiet. You were wrong. Mike's jaw tightens, eyes flicking between us. You think anyone will believe your story? I press send, emailing every recording, every file, to our lawyer and the police. For the first time, Mike looks uncertain. The trap is sprung, and the fallout is about to begin. As the recordings send, the air in the room crackles with anticipation and dread. Mike's confidence wavers for the first time. He glances at his briefcase, calculating his next move. Dad watches him with a steely calm I've never seen before. It's over, Mike. The police and our lawyer have everything. Mike stands abruptly, mask of politeness gone. You think you've won? You have no idea who you're up against. I square my shoulders, refusing to back down. Neither do you. You underestimated us, and me. He glares, then fixes his gaze on my brother and sister. You two still have a chance to walk away from this. Testify against them, and maybe I can protect you. My sister flinches, but shakes her head. No, we're done letting you control us. My brother finally lifts his head, voice raw. We made mistakes, but we're done running from them. Mike's sneer twists into something uglier. You're making a big mistake. I don't go down easy. Footsteps thunder on the porch. Red and blue lights flash through the window. The police are here. Mike's bravado slips away completely as officers enter, their presence filling the house. Mr. Collins? One asks. We need you to come with us. You're under investigation for fraud, coercion, and conspiracy. Mike tries to protest, but Dad cuts him off. You brought this on yourself. The officers escort Mike out, his threats dissolving into desperate pleas. My family collapses into silence as the door closes behind him. For a moment, there's only the sound of rain on the roof and our shaky breaths. It's over. But as relief battles exhaustion, I know that even with Mike gone, healing the wounds he left will be a battle all its own. When the police car disappears down the street, the house feels impossibly still. My hands are still shaking, the echo of Mike's threats rattling in my chest. Dad pulls me into a rough, desperate hug, one I didn't know I needed. My siblings linger, guilt and shame heavy in the air, but for once, no one turns away. Mom dabs at her eyes, voice wavering. I never wanted this for any of us. I thought family meant something stronger. I nod, but bitterness tugs at my heart. It should have. But we let fear and greed win for too long. Dad surveys us, the leader again, but softer now. We all made mistakes. But from now on, we talk to each other. No more secrets. No more lies. My brother breaks down first, tears streaking his face. I'm sorry. I should have stopped it. I should have protected you. My sister's voice is small, but determined. Me too. I was just scared. I let him make me believe the worst. I feel their remorse, but trust is slow to return. It'll take time, I say honestly. But we can start over, if we're honest this time. Dad nods, squeezing my shoulder. Tomorrow, we'll call the lawyer, untangle what Mike did to the business. It's going to be messy, but we'll do it together. For the first time in months, hope flickers. Maybe the family we lost isn't gone forever. Just changed, cracked, but still worth fighting for. Then my phone buzzes again, a voicemail from an unknown number. I hesitate, dread knotting in my stomach. As I press play, a new voice whispers, "You think it's over? Be careful. Some debts never die." And suddenly I realize, even with Mike gone, the shadows he cast may reach further than any of us expected. The voice on the voicemail is low, almost distorted, barely more than a hiss. You think you've won, but you don't know what you started. There's more at stake than you realize. I replay it twice, searching for a clue. The number's blocked. No name, no hint, just a lingering threat that chills my blood. My family gathers around as I play the message on speaker. Mom goes pale, clutching Dad's hand. My brother swears under his breath. Dad frowns, jaw set in grim determination. Who else would want to scare us? Could Mike have partners? I nod, the old dread crawling up my spine. Someone must have helped him. The way he manipulated the business, the accounts, he didn't do it alone. My sister chews her lip. Are we safe? Should we call the police again? Dad shakes his head. Not yet. We don't even know who we're dealing with. We'll keep our guard up, change the locks, check all the finances. No more mistakes. But my mind races. I remember Mike's smugness, the way he hinted at friends in high places. The message was a warning, but also a taunt, a game not quite finished. That night, sleep is impossible. Every creak and groan of the house sends my heart leaping. My brother stays up, scrolling through old emails and files, hunting for any overlooked clues. My sister leaves her light on. Mom and Dad talk in whispers behind their locked door. Morning brings no peace, just a sharper vigilance. As I pour coffee, my brother bursts in, waving his phone. You need to see this. Someone's been transferring money out of Dad's account. The withdrawal started weeks ago, right before everything blew up. I stare at the numbers on the screen. The web isn't untangled yet. If we're going to survive this, we need to find out who's still pulling the strings and stop them before it's too late. Panic rises in my chest as I stare at the bank records. Each withdrawal is precise, just under the amount that would trigger an alert. Whoever's doing this knows exactly how to cover their tracks. Dad rushes over, eyes scanning the numbers, face growing darker with every line. We need a forensic accountant, he says, voice tight. Someone outside the family, someone we can trust. My sister nods, her hands shaking as she calls the bank, putting a freeze on all our accounts. Mom hovers at her side, trying to hold it together. We have to be careful who we trust, she whispers. Mike fooled us all. Someone else could too. My brother searches old emails for clues, muttering names of former business partners and accountants. Remember Terry? He says suddenly. Dad's old partner. Mike always hated him. Maybe he can help. Dad hesitates, then nods. He's the only one I trust from those days. I'll call him. The rest of the morning is a blur. Calls to lawyers, bankers, security firms. We change the locks, add cameras to the front door, warn our friends to watch for anything suspicious. But it's not enough. Late in the afternoon, a courier drops off a plain envelope addressed to me. Inside is a single sheet of paper, a grainy photo of our family, taken through the living room window. On the back, a handwritten note. You're being watched. Back off. Fear chills me to the bone, but something else stirs too. Anger, defiance. I show the family. They want us scared. They want us to quit. Dad clenches his fists. We won't. Not this time. But as dusk falls, I can't shake the feeling that every move we make is being watched. Whoever's left behind the curtain is clever, and we're running out of time to catch them. By the time Dad gets Terry on the phone, tension has strangled every bit of comfort from our home. I hover close, listening as Dad explains everything. Mike's betrayal, the threats, the stolen money, the mysterious photograph. Terry's voice, calm and steady, is the first relief I've felt in days. I warned you about Mike years ago, Terry says, the edge in his voice unmistakable. But I believe you. Send me everything. I'll dig into the accounts from my end, quietly. And I'll keep an eye on my own place, too. Dad hangs up, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. He'll help us. He knows the business, knows how Mike thinks. If there's a trail, Terry will find it. Mom finally breathes out. Do you really trust him? Dad nods, unwavering. With my life. We gather every document, email, and screenshot, then send them all to Terry's secure line. My brother double-checks the encryption. No more mistakes, he says, voice grim. As the hours pass, tension mounts. The house feels like a bunker. My sister peeks through the curtains every few minutes. Mom jumps at every phone call. Even Dad's confidence wavers in the quiet moments. Then, just before midnight, Terry calls back. I found something, he says. A shell company in Dad's name, but with signatures forged. Money's been funneled out, not just recently, but for months. And the IP address used to authorize the transfers? It's local. Very local. My breath catches. You mean it's someone nearby? Someone still watching us. Terry's voice drops. I'm afraid so. And I have a name. He says it, and the shock is instant. Someone we never suspected. Someone who's been in our house, sharing our food, pretending to care. And just like that, the final mask falls, and I realize the true enemy was closer than any of us imagined. The name leaves Terry's lips like a thunderclap. For a moment, my mind can't process it. My aunt, Dad's own sister. Always there at holidays, quick to lend a hand. The one who'd comforted Mom when Mike's schemes unraveled. I replay every moment. Her hushed phone calls in the kitchen, her sudden interest in Dad's business, the way she'd offered to help with paperwork after Mike was arrested. Dad sits down hard, face ashen. My own sister, all this time. Mom gasps, covering her mouth. My siblings are silent, stunned. Terry explains, voice grave. She was Mike's fallback. When he realized he'd been found out, he used her access to keep the money flowing. The shell company is in her maiden name. She used your home Wi-Fi to hide her trail. She's been in the house more than anyone. It all fits. The threats, the fear, the feeling of being watched. Fury and heartbreak twist inside me. We have to confront her. She can't get away with this. Dad nods slowly, resolve returning. We'll do it as a family. But we call the police first. Let them handle the legal side. No more secrets. Within the hour, officers arrive, briefed by Terry's findings. My aunt arrives at the house, casual as ever, until she sees the squad car. Her face drains of color. Dad stands tall. Why, Janet? How could you do this to your own family? She tries to deny, but Terry's evidence is ironclad. When she realizes the game is over, her calm facade crumbles into bitter tears. I needed the money. Mike promised me a cut. I never thought you'd actually catch us. As she's led away in handcuffs, the last thread of betrayal unravels. My family gathers in the living room, exhausted, bruised, but finally, for the first time in years, united. But even in victory, I know, forgiveness will be a longer battle than justice. Healing won't happen overnight. But tonight, the cycle of secrets is finally broken. After the police leave and the door clicks shut behind my aunt, a heavy silence settles over the house. My family is still, each of us staring into the middle distance, exhausted by the weight of all we've learned. The living room feels different, emptier, but somehow freer, as if a storm finally passed. Dad sits between my brother and sister, his arms around their shoulders. "We've lost a lot," he says softly, "but we haven't lost each other. That's what matters." Mom reaches for my hand, tears running down her cheeks. "We all made mistakes. Maybe we trusted the wrong people, but we're here. We're together." I nod, feeling the ache of the past weeks begin to fade, replaced by something fragile and new: hope. No more secrets. If something feels wrong, we talk about it. We look out for each other, always. My brother squeezes my hand. "I'm sorry I doubted you. I'll spend my whole life making it right." My sister leans against me, tired but relieved. "Let's just start over. Please?" Dad wipes his eyes and smiles, worn but genuine. "We'll rebuild. Together. Tomorrow, we call the bank, the lawyer, and make it official. No more back doors, no more hidden accounts. Only honesty from here on out." The night stretches on as we share old stories, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, reclaiming the trust that was nearly lost. The house, once a prison of secrets, starts to feel like home again. Later, as I lie in bed, I listen to the quiet and realize that though the wounds are still raw, we survived. We faced betrayal, exposed the truth, and chose each other over fear. Maybe this is what real family means. Not perfection, but forgiveness and the courage to fight for each other, no matter how dark it gets.